am Vietnamese by blood, Chinese by ancestry, ghetto boy by circumstances, scholar by education, teacher by wisdom, psychologist in training, graffiti artist incognito, hip-hop junkie by Tupac Amaru Shakur, photographer by visions of hope, poet in solitude, writer by my inner voice, a father and a son from the Su dynasty, and a friend to my enemies. Ask me why my pants fall below my ass cheeks, or about the collective unconscious. I am Lac, and this is part of my story. First day of school when I arrived to Grant Elementary, the first thing that I remember was seeing a lot of children on the playground that looked so different from me. They had different hair color, different hair texture, different color of skin, height and weight, and the variation really put me off guard and scared me, because in Vietnam I was so used to seeing children that looked like me. I was busy being a little boy, I learned a lot from these streets. My buddy here, Tony, he and I have been through a lot. We grew up together. This was definitely a gang-infested area. But you would see things happening on the streets all the time. I'm glad I moved out, but it's great to be back. It brings back a lot of memories. When Pop said we gotta bounce, it's like you gotta go. You gotta go. I think it was a blessing, but these were great memories.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad I'm here. Like I said, it's good to be back here. All right, my man? All right.
When I hit the streets, I was myself again. I didn't have that pressure hovering over me by my pops. And I took advantage of being out there, doing kid stuff.
I don't think that a lot of people know, Hollywood, they're known for the glitz and glamour, but this is the other side of
that's right,
of Hollywood, which we grew up in. And a lot of people don't know that. And I think growing up, I don't know if it was for you, but Franklin Boulevard is like the dividing line between
Hollywood,
the ghetto and Hollywood.
That's right.
Hollywood ghetto.
That's right.
And I mean, look, right?
Yeah.
Cafeteria's still here. Cafeteria still looks the same.
That's right. It was back there.
Back over there. Yeah.
There used to be trees behind there too.
That's right. It was all like.
That's where I last remember my best experiences was in 6th grade. Room 12, which is up those stairs. But back in the days, they would put students into tracks based on how smart they were. I was in a yellow track, not too smart. ESL, if you will. And Tony, were you in my track?
Yeah, I think we were on the same track.
I think all the ESL kids were put in one track because they learned a little slower. Now that I'm here, I think about all the things that had kept me through the years. It was sports, particularly basketball, art, as you can see from this background scene. Drawing was a way for me to release some of the tension and frustration I had inside. And being out in the streets is just, home was not a pleasant place for me to be at the time. So I hit the streets and, you know, hop the fence and play a little basketball to release some of that frustration and tension. Or, you know, draw graffiti art on the wall. Things that I could not tell my father. I released a lot of the energy out in the streets. And to be back here, to relive it, to think about it again is nostalgic in a way.
All these skills you're seeing now, I think you develop them later. But
He's jealous.
I'm jealous.
I feel like a kid again. You know, seeing those kids play. It's like carefree.
No worries, huh?
No worries.
How does it feel coming back?
Feels good. Feels good. It's always fun to revisit your childhood. Brings back a lot of memories. Good and bad, you know. Catch the ball! So, we just left the school on our way to see my own home. I've been back for a long time. All this looks different right now. Wow. Doesn't look familiar to me. Is that my own home? No way. Oh my god, let's take a look here. Martinis. It's a shopping mall now. Oh my god, my house is not even there. Oh, here guys, you guys want to come on and check it out? I mean, nothing's left, it's just a shopping mall right now, but let's try to find a parking spot so we step out and reminisce a little bit. This is where I used to play basketball, and this is where I used to live. It's now a shopping mall, but I would just come across the way and shoot some basketball here. I mean, when I had the chance, I left the house because my home was a really suffocating environment for me to be in. You know, you have to understand that, you know, my father was a really exacting father. Really strict, old school, and you know, he always emphasized education. It was all about education, you know, and anything that I did that prevented me from meeting his wishes, you know, it was against the rule in the house. So, you know, so I would do my thing, do my homework, my Chinese lesson and whatnot. And when I have a chance to leave the house, I was out of there. Actually, you know, I actually look forward to leaving the house because it's like comparing, it was like, you know, I was trapped in a hot oven. It feels a little bit crowded right now, more than usual. Maybe because I was a little younger back in the day, but it looks smaller. The neighborhood looks smaller. Everything has changed. I don't remember too much except for the Shakey's Pizza. That's about it. Everything else has changed. Back then it felt safe, but right now that I'm back, I mean, I'm looking behind my shoulders unconsciously. Yes, there was a lot of violence and you know, urban life experience. Not, you know, as just like any other urban cities. The first dramatic violence that I've seen was when I was barely in the first grade. One day when my mother and I came back from the welfare office, you know, we saw a man on the ground with a stab wound, you know, in his ribs. And the funny thing was, he was just laying there, and everybody and people around him were just going about their daily lives like he wasn't even there. So you could just picture this man laying on the ground with blood oozing out his rib cage, and people just walk by him or step over him to pass by. And I was so infatuated with the blood that's dripping from his rib cage. And then, 5 minutes later, the ambulance came and took that away. And in LA, blood stains that are created are left there.
Oh man, look at this, 1986, and
who put that there?
I guess when they laid the concrete,
Yeah.
I was a little kid and just tagged it. Look, Lena's name is here, my name is here, Garnier,
Yeah.
Stacy. I believe it's still here, man.
Yeah.
They broke everything down except for this.
Lac.
Lac, my name is there. Who
Yeah.
else?
I miss LA, but I'm glad I moved out, moved away. Emotions are coming about, I'm sorry.
I love yous are for white people. It is what growing up, those words holds true because I didn't get much of that growing up, like my brother and I experienced in our own family household. But I'm proud of my brother for writing it. I think he puts a voice out there that many people can relate to, and people who don't relate to can just read it for the entertainment and the comedy.
I've come across so many creative people in my life, and definitely Lac would be on my top 5 list. I've gotten the chance to speak with them on so many occasions, and the one thing that really stuck out in my mind was, this guy's actually writing a memoirs about stories that I've heard so many times from my parents.
I'm really proud of my brother. Like, if I wouldn't have the courage to write a book like this.
I think it's a voice of, not just for Asian American people. He paints that picture where you could visualize every moment that he grew up, every step that he takes.
Something I very much cherish is that he's so down to earth about sharing his life with you. So you have to really take into consideration that a man is spilling his guts to you guys, and not a lot of people can do that.
I want them to be able to look inside the Vietnamese American experience and see what really goes on in the family dynamics of how we've assimilated and adapt to the American culture and the struggles that we face to make it this far.
It was very moving. I actually kind of cried in a couple of chapters because I didn't know what exactly he was going through. Even though I hear stories about like all these things happening, I never got the whole picture of it. And reading his book, I understand his life. I understand what he went through.
This is true stories with a lot of depiction, a lot of humor used in the appropriate places, a lot of sentiments, a lot of all the dramatic, roller coaster of a good book. Those who enjoy good books will enjoy this memoir.
His memoirs are an inspiration, and he's giving us a voice, and that voice is definitely, it needs to be heard.
These are the stories of my childhood. I would take you on a journey that taps into all the emotions of what it feels like to grow up in a new country from a different culture. There's pain involved, there's frustrations, there's confusion, there's drama, a lot of tears, blood. But these are my stories. take a walk with me.